Hey friends, welcome back to Chapter 2. I'm so glad you're here. And if you're new, this is a space for women rebuilding after life has knocked us off our feet. Whether that's breast cancer, a broken marriage, burnout, or any of the hard transitions that change who we are. Because while our stories may look different, the emotions, fear, grief, even the strength it takes to rebuild, are something we all understand. This week, as part of Breast Cancer Awareness Month, we are talking about something that doesn't always get shared. The emotional side of it all. The unseen, unspoken parts of our journey. You know, the parts that don't fit neatly into awareness ribbons or pinkwashing. So, wherever you are, maybe you're driving, walking, or just curling up with a blanket and a cup of tea, I want you to feel like you're sitting here with me, talking heart to heart. Let's talk honestly and openly about grief, fear, and finding the strength when life doesn't look like it used to. There's a kind of grief that comes with cancer that no one really prepares you for. It's not just about losing your hair or your energy. It's about losing the version of yourself you used to know. I remember standing in the shower after trying to be strong for my kids all day. I'd let the hot water run over me and finally just let myself cry. The kind of deep, shaking sobs you hold in all day. I didn't want them to see me like that. And as the tears fell, so did my hair, clumps of it swirling down the drain. It was this surreal mix of grief and disbelief, honestly. Literally watching pieces of myself slip away and wondering how I was supposed to feel whole again. The shower became the one place I could just let go. I didn't have to put on a brave face, no pretending, just the hot water and the truth. And maybe you've had your own version of that shower moment. Maybe standing in your kitchen after a breakup, surrounded by the overwhelming silence. Or sitting in your car after quitting a job that once defined you. Those small, private moments when the weight of what's changed hits you all at once. Those moments, they're sacred, even though they hurt. Because grief is love with nowhere to go. And in those moments, even when it feels like everything's falling apart, something new is quietly being formed. The beginning glimpses of strength. Fear became this quiet companion I didn't invite. It wasn't always loud or obvious. Most often, it just kind of whispered in the background. What if the treatment doesn't work? What if the cancer comes back? What if my kids have to grow up without me? Those questions looped through my mind in the middle of the night when the house was quiet. The darkness seemed to just amplify every thought and every worry. And you know what made it harder? Everyone around me wanted to reassure me, to say, you'll be fine, or you've got this. And I appreciated that. I really did. But sometimes what I needed most was for someone to sit beside me and just say, yeah, this is terrifying. And I don't have the answers, but I'm here for you. Because pretending the fear doesn't exist, it doesn't make it go away. Acknowledging it, saying it out loud, that's what eventually softens it. And that doesn't just apply to cancer. It's true for anyone walking through uncertainty. A divorce, financial strain, a new beginning you didn't choose, or even sometimes one you did. Fear is a part of being human. It shows up when your old world ends and the new one hasn't fully taken shape yet. If you're in that place right now, please know, fear doesn't mean you're weak. It means you care deeply about your life and about the people in it. And naming that fear, even whispering it to yourself, is one of the most courageous things you can do. People love to say, "You're so strong." But what they don't see is that strength isn't something you just have. It's something you build piece by piece, moment by moment. Some days, strength looked like getting out of bed. Other days, it looked like laughing with my kids, even when my heart ached. And some days, it looked like doing absolutely nothing, giving myself permission to rest without the guilt. Strength doesn't have to be loud. It's not always brave speeches or bold decisions or podcast episodes. Sometimes it's whispering to yourself, "I can do today," even when you're not sure about tomorrow. And maybe your story isn't about cancer. Maybe it's about rebuilding after a broken relationship, or losing someone you love, or waking up one morning realizing the life you were living doesn't fit you anymore. The details are different, but the emotions are the same. That moment of standing in the ruins of what was familiar, wondering, how do I start over? That's where strength begins. Not when you have it all figured out, but when you take one small step forward anyway. Because healing isn't linear. It's not about bouncing back. It's about rebuilding slowly, intentionally, and giving yourself permission to be both soft and strong at the same time. If you've been walking through your own chapter of grief or fear, I want to invite you to pause for a moment. Take a breath, put your hand over your heart, and ask yourself, what part of me needs gentleness today? Maybe it's the part that's tired of pretending. Maybe it's the part that misses who you used to be. Or maybe it's the part that's quietly learning to hope again. Whatever it is, give that part space. You don't have to rush your healing. You don't have to have it all together. You are allowed to feel deeply, fall apart, and rebuild, all in the same season. Thank you for spending this time with me today. I know these conversations can feel heavy, but they're also where connection begins, in the honest, messy, beautiful middle of our stories. If this episode resonated with you, I'd love if you shared it with someone who might need a reminder that they're not alone. Next week, we'll continue our Breast Cancer Awareness Month series with an episode on reclaiming identity after cancer. Because there's life after the diagnosis, and the best part is that you get to write that next chapter. So until then, take care of yourself, and remember, you are healing even when it doesn't look like it.